Hi Dulcimer friends. Hey, this past weekend I was at a Dulcimer festival and I just happened to pick up a new instrument. I'm so excited. I love it so much. But the new instrument does not have a pickup installed. So I thought this would be a good opportunity to talk about what if you have an older instrument or you come across a new one like I did and you want to slap a pickup on there and maybe you want to play out and you just need a little amplification, something like that. So let's take a look and we'll see what we can figure out. Okay, there are a lot of options when it comes to pickups. Now, I need to make it a habit to order pickups on my instruments if I'm ordering a new instrument. And when you get that, normally the pickups that come installed are piezo or transducer pickups. And like you can see this little dot on this instrument, this is where the pickup sits right under the bridge and the strings on this instrument. And then to connect it, in the end of the button strap is where you would jack in your 1/4-inch guitar fitting or your guitar cable. So that's how you would just simply amp up an instrument that's already got a pickup installed. But if you don't have one, there are a couple different ways to go about it. First way is they have pickups that simply clip on. The pickups, a lot of times they will clip on to a sound hole. Now you can see on these instruments, my sound holes are kind of small. It would be kind of awkward for me to fit a clip into one of these holes. But clip-ons generally can be either piezo transducer style pickups, or you can get little actual microphones that clip on. Those work great. Myself, I prefer a stick-on or self-adhesive piezo pickup. And the reason for that is sometimes if you've ever heard anybody on stage that maybe fidgets a little bit with their instrument and one of those clip-on pickups, sometimes they can slide around a little bit and it makes a lot of noise on the instrument. So a stick-on pickup, like it says, it tends to stick in one place. It's a little bit less noise and maintenance for me. Now the way these piezo pickups work is they're kind of disc-shaped, and you want to think about them a lot like the end of a stethoscope that your doctor would put on your chest. These are transducer pickups, so they're picking up all the vibrations off the top of the sound hole. That's why if you knock on the instrument, you get that hollow, that knock comes right through your amplifier. They do have magnetic pickups for electric guitars that actually pick up the noise from the string vibration, but they're harder to come by for a dulcimer. You would have to build something that sits over the strings. It would have to be something real custom. But the good news is, whether you decide to go transducer stick-on pickup or a clip-on pickup, they're pretty inexpensive. I've seen them as low as $12, $14. People sometimes who are worried about the finish of their dulcimer prefer a stick or a clip-on pickup because they don't want to mar the finish when they take off the adhesive. I find if you've got any type of lacquer or finish on your dulcimer, that's usually not an issue. But if you're really worried about cosmetics, maybe a clip-on is better for you. But here's what I like in my clip-on or in my stick-on pickups. This one, for example, has a separate volume control, so you can turn up the volume up and down on the side here. And that's really nice because you get a lot of noise if you plug or unplug your guitar cable in while the amp is still on. So you can turn your volume all the way down in the pickup, and then if you take your plug in or out, you're not going to hear a bunch of clanging around coming through your amplifier. The other thing I like is this one has a separate... This is kind of a little safety strap, right? This guy goes on over your button, or your strap button, and then this is where your 1/4-inch guitar cable plugs in. So that way, if you're on stage and somebody trips over your cable or you yank it, it's not going to pull your pickup off. So this is the standard guitar cable that everybody uses. This one has an elbow at one end that makes it a little bit easier to plug into an amp and let it hang down. This is your straight plug. Either end can go into your pickup, and again, either end can fit into your amplifier. So typically I have an extra pickup laying around the house in case I need to play out and I have one that fails, or I want to take an instrument that doesn't already have a pickup installed. So this was in about the $20 range, and in this package, these pickups are all very similar. So I'm really not endorsing any name brand. I really just look for the features on the pickup themselves. But it's just a tiny little button. It's already got the self-adhesive dot on the back. You just pull off the end and it's ready to stick on. And then this actually has a 1/4-inch guitar cable that goes straight into your amplifier. And it's got a little bit smaller one. And that's just so it doesn't have all that weight of a heavy guitar jack hanging off the transducer itself. So this is ready to stick on. So on your amp, you want to find the guitar in. This one has a separate one for a microphone, but we're going to be using a guitar in. So we go ahead and put our 1/4-inch plug in there. Then we turn on our amp. You want to check the volume and kind of make sure it's turned down a little bit because you don't want to blow your eardrums out when you when you start moving this around. You'll start to get all those little noises, just like on a stethoscope, right? So once you've got it plugged in there, I generally hold it down on the dulcimer and I'll start strumming around a little bit and see where I get the best tone. There are two things that you want to look for. You want to see where it picks up the best noise from the sound box, but also where it's not going to be in your way when you're strumming. So I've been experimenting a little bit with where this sounds best. Really all up and down the side of the instrument. I didn't find a glaring difference in how the pickup sounded. I think I probably want it closer to the base of my instrument because of where this wire is going to hang off. I'd rather have it coming off the bass end rather than further up the neck. And so when you place your piezo pickup, you want to make sure that you're happy with how the wire is coming off. You know, maybe you want to twist it a little bit so it's a little bit more in line with your fretboard. But also on this pickup, this is one that has the volume control here. So we want to make sure that that's going to be easily accessible for us. But I think I kind of like it here. So that's where I'm going to stick it. So you simply peel off the back. And I'm going to go ahead and get it right there. Okay, so I did go ahead and adjust my pickup down just a little bit because I was hitting it when I strummed, and you can hear that. Hear that click at the end. So I've got so little space here, I'm just going to have to be conscious of just strumming a little bit higher up on the strum hollow. But one of the cool things about this particular amplifier is it has a chorus feature as well. So I'm going to just kind of show you a brief snippet, straight up amplifier, no extra effects, and then we're going to turn the chorus on so you can hear some of the cool things you can do. Okay, so briefly, let's review pickups. You can add a pickup to any acoustic instrument. They can be a directional microphone. They can be one of these little dot transducer pickups like a stethoscope. They can be clip-on, they can be stick-on. Some insert inside the sound holes, some you stick on the outside of your instrument. You can get started for as little as $12 or $13. Some of the really nice directional microphone pickups go up to $200 or so. But most of the ones that I purchase, I stick in the $20 range. I don't need anything too fancy. You know, I'm going to maybe play the local nursing home or the library, and I have a little lunchbox size amplifier. Amps, you know, run anywhere between $30 and $200. So just kind of shop around for how often you're going to play out, what meets your needs, and you can get started and go and share your music. I'll see you around the jam next time. Thanks for listening.